Hey, Soca lovers, welcome back to the BK Rant and Rave podcast. I'm your host, Deanna, aka DysChick, and this season we are focused on ushering in a healthy new year. Now, my guest today is going to look a little familiar to you. You know her as Soka Say So, but today we are talking about her other brand, her other gift and talent. She is JayDreamingg, a dream analyst who for years has been helping her clients uncover things through dream interpretation that may be affecting their daily lives and decision making. So I want you to welcome JayDreamingg to the podcast.
Hello, hi everybody. I am super excited to talk to you, Deanna, especially to talk about dreams and how they affect our lives.
Love it. So, as we have been talking throughout this season about anxiety and, mental health and focusing on ways to really combat the stressors that are plaguing our lives right now, I want to talk to you a little bit more about the dream analysis and dream interpretation that you've been doing to help people kind of get through their daily lives and the stresses, but also to help them make decisions because sometimes dreams show up at critical decision making points and you've been able to really help them navigate that. So, as we break it down for them, first, I just want them to get a sense of what dream interpretation or dream analysis is and how you do that.
Sure. Lots of people wake up saying, "What was that dream about? What does that mean? Does it mean something? Should I care?" And the answer is always yes. It means something, and you should definitely care because it means something about your life. I've been interpreting, analyzing dreams for over 20 years now. I have done it for many, many clients, and um, the result is always life changing. And I don't say that lightly. Um, I believe, it's my philosophy that you have a dream because there is some decision that needs to be made. It's either a character shift or an actual something that you need to put in place in your life, and usually a big transition. And the reason why you remember the dream is because you're ready to take action. And so putting these big changes and saying, I'm ready to do it, that's why you can remember that dream, sometimes for days, weeks, even. And that's when you really need to take action. And so, right now, in this moment, right, in 2026, there's a lot for people to make decisions on. There's a
Mhm.
lot for ways that think people are thinking maybe I should make a shift in my life, and it's coming up in their dreams. But I can say for doing this for so long, that you need to take action now. Now is when you need to move on this.
That is so true, especially now. We've got so many things going on. But, we both have Caribbean backgrounds. We both know West Indian culture and, dreams and mysticism and things like that. It's part of Caribbean lore. Like, this is not something that's going to be really unfamiliar to people. You see it all the time on like TikTok videos. It's like you're about to go out, but your mother had a dream. And so when you see things like that and the way that people are like, oh, I dreamt about fish or I dreamt this other thing, and they immediately accept it as, oh, I shouldn't do something, or oh, there's going to be a baby in the family. How do you feel about those kind of symbols and how they actually relate to the culture?
Yeah, I love it because it reminds us that your dreams are important. And so once you have that, that's like half the battle, right? Because now you're thinking, okay, should I get an answer on what it is? I do always advise against stock answers to what symbols mean. I think that there are some generalities that you can make with symbols, especially around cultures. But that symbol still has a unique meaning to you and how it came up and why it came up. So some people will say, well, driving a car means you're figuring out like where you're going in life. Yeah, but driving, is the car in reverse? Are you driving the car? Is someone else driving the car? Is it speeding? Is it slow? Is it nighttime outside? Is it day? All of those things will affect what it actually means to you in your life. And so just saying, well, I jumped of a car, so I know exactly what it is not quite helpful. Definitely heed the words that your dreams are making, but don't go with just overall generalities in the symbols.
I feel like you're talking to me because whenever whenever I have a dream, I'm like, oh, I dreamt about running. Clearly, I'm running from something or running to something. I'm so literal that
Mhm.
it's just like clearly that's what it is. So how do you get people to really try to delve more into it? Sometimes there are things that you don't even realize is important. How do you get them, let's say in a one-on-one session, how do you get them to really like focus on those kinds of things and give you those details that might actually change the interpretation of the dream?
A couple of things. One, reminding people that your dreams are really your subconscious thoughts. And when you're talking about your deep subconscious thoughts, the reason why you're getting the dream is really like you're not listening to your own self. You're not dealing with your own issues. And so I'm going to give you a movie. I know you like to watch TV. So I'm going to give you a movie when you're most relaxed. And maybe you'll pick up what I'm putting down, is what your brain is saying. Um, and then really, I listen and I listen with no judgment. When I have a client that works with me, just tell me your dream. And they say their dream, and sometimes I make them repeat the entire thing. And 99% of the time they remember more details when they repeat it because sometimes they're holding back and they don't want to say all the details or they just forget. But and then when they're saying again, oh, I remember this one part. And it's very, very important. Every little detail, down to the numbers that you hear in the dream, the colors, the atmosphere, how you're feeling, who was there. And when you're awake, you just assign attributes to different things, right? Like I saw my ex, so it's obviously just a dream about my ex. But more likely, it is about either how that ex made you feel or the characteristics that that ex has that's showing up in you. There are different things at play. And so I think my openness and my approach to listening also helps people realize that this is deep.
Mm.
She's really paying attention to something that seemed really funny or really weird in my dream. Like, why are you listening so intently? Maybe I should take it seriously. Yeah. So I have zero judgment when people tell me their dreams
Mm.
because it's like if I watched a movie and I'm just judging the writer the entire time, like I wouldn't. I'm just watching for their to get what I can get out of it. And so I think knowing that my brain didn't I didn't process this. And that's why I'm dreaming. Lets you know there's something deeper there. And then having someone that can support you through the retelling and pull out information, then you know that there's much more to it.
Hmm. So sometimes a fish is not a fish.
Right. Right.
Not
Sometimes a
many
fish is
people.
that boss that you can't stand. And you're like, what? Ow.
A big stinky fish.
Mhm.
That makes sense. No, I love that. And I love the idea of maybe it's something like attributes from other people that are seeping into your mind, but also that this is your subconscious. Because so much of what we've been talking about this series is mental health, seeking support, and dealing more with your conscious mind. But just listening to your subconscious can also help you really navigate this stuff. That's really interesting. Without violating anyone's confidences, can you share? I'm curious, like an interesting example of something that someone told you and they were just like, wait, what? I was dreaming about, lead paint. How did you get that from this?
Yeah. One of my favorite examples is a woman was dreaming that she had a baby. Just like all of a sudden, I had a baby and I was going through labor and it was like really hard labor. And someone was saying that like, oh, it's my baby. I'm going to take care of it. And I'm fighting with this person. No, it's my baby. You don't know how to take care of it. You don't know what to do. Um, And she's like, this not doesn't make any sense. I'm not trying to get pregnant. I don't know why I would be fighting with someone over a child. And I said, oh wow, congratulations, you're starting a business? And she's like,
What?
what are you talking about? I was like, yeah, you're like starting a business and you're not really certain with the partner that you're starting the business with, and you'd rather start the business with somebody else, but you're like already on the path, and this person's trying to lay claim. And she's like, how did you know? I told no one this. And she's been battling with how does she break the relationship with the person who wanted to start the business with her and truly start with someone else. And she said, I the dream was saying that person will never be able to take care of the business the way you want them to. They weren't going to take care of your baby. And but you know who you want and you should go with that person. I'm not making any judgments. I'm just saying that's what your dream is saying. And she said that is literally what I've been struggling with for a while now. And she made the decision to cut ties with that person, go with the person that she wanted to, and it is a thriving business that's at least 10 years old now, I think. About 10 years now? Yeah, thriving business now. So, and expanding. So that was a big life decision that she was trying to make that was coming up in a weird dream that just didn't make any sense. But she
Wow.
knew enough to say, I can't forget it. I need to talk to somebody about it. Do you have any clue what this means? And I was so honored that she trusted me with the dream, because this was a very big part of her life at the moment. And she didn't even know that she was telling me this, this big life moment.
That's amazing. The
Hmm.
way that you established a trust, because dreams can be very personal. And sometimes people honestly just don't want to go there, right? Like they don't really want to know what this means because they're afraid of what it'll uncover, maybe some feelings they don't want to really dive into. How
Yeah.
do you set that tone, that calm, that trusting? I mean, I know you, so I trust you, plus you're a witch.
I am
But
not. I do not subscribe to any witchery. No. But it is an intuitive gift that I have, that apparently is passed down by my great grandmother. And she was not a witch.
that
And
you
so
know of.
I think it's just the way I talk about dreams, and the way that I approach it in a professional and empathetic manner, and just hold the space for people. Listening, a lot of people talk to people who aren't really listening to them,
Mm,
and they put themselves in spaces, and are sometimes people are divulging private information to people who don't like. Do they really like you? Are they really listening? You're not really sure. And it's iffy, but people instinctively know this dream comes from a quiet, safe space. I am comfortable when I'm sleeping. I am in my safe space. And when I am going to tell someone else that information, they need to hold it safely. And so there's some vibe I'm giving off that they trust that I will hold that sacred, and I do.
yeah, I love that because obviously I met you through a different brand
Mhm.
where you're not as calm and quiet and reserved. And so to see you have this other gift and talent where it's very calming, very quiet, I do feel like people will open up to you just because you have that kind of, no, tell me your secrets. This is a vault. I'm not going to go
Mhm.
spill it somewhere and tell your business or judge you. And you're right, so many people really don't think about who they're telling their secrets to and whether or not that person is not just listening but is genuine in wanting to know how they're doing and how they're feeling. So
Yeah.
it's really good that you can provide that.
And that's one thing you could get from your West Indian grandma. They don't go telling everybody your business.
They don't need to know.
Mhm.
No, it's true. You really should be careful with who you open up to and how vulnerable you get. And I do think dreams, like you said, it's interesting to hear you talk about it because it's like your conscious and your subconscious talking to each other. And so now you have someone that's helping you understand
Yeah,
what the subconscious is trying to say, especially since it's
exactly.
bringing it into the consciousness, right? Like you wake up and you remember it and you can talk about it and you can describe it. So it's good that you're able to bring that to them.
Yeah. And by the way, the examples that I give out are, I always have permission to give out those examples. I have a lot of people who have shared testimonials online, people who have done dream interpretations live on social media, and so I do have, a bunch of examples that I can give that I've had permission to do so, because people really feel like, no, somebody's got to know how impactful this could be in your life. So if my example is what is needed to let other people know that they need your help, then please feel free. And it's really nice when that happens.
Yeah, especially if you've helped them navigate something and they made a critical decision like, I'm going to start a business, or maybe I should choose a different partner to start that
Mhm.
business. That's huge. That is huge. And being able to speak to someone, you hear people get a lot of career coaching or they'll get, they'll do motivational speaking. And these days with social media, there's a lot of bad advice readily available. And so having someone who's like, no, we're going to listen to you talk to you
Yeah.
is impactful.
There's, I hate to say it, but there's a lot of bad dream advice out there too. Like I like to be on social media, but I cringe so much at like what people say are the reasons why you're dreaming or what the symbols mean, and it's the individual aspect of it is the difference from what I do and what I see most people do, and it's what really hits home to you that's most important. Like, do you really care that 100 other people, that's what it means to them, if that's not going to change your actual life, your day to day? The most important part is, what in my life do I need to change, especially for those people who dream a lot.
Mm.
If
What do you mean
people
they
who
dream a
dream a lot,
lot?
sometimes it's really laborious. Like, you could watch an action movie, but I don't want to watch one every day, and I also don't want to act in it every single day. And every morning you're waking up like tired because I've had these crazy dreams every single night. It could be a lot for people. It could be taxing.
I didn't even think
And
about that.
so working with me can help you get to what is really the issue that you need to face. And I usually tell people that you should pair this with therapy, so your therapist can help you usher through how you go about actually, especially those things that are character driven, like things that are really like, this is about you as a person and what you need to change. Those things you really need guidance of a therapist to get through.
That's interesting because I do wonder, if people are like, "Oh, she did my dream analysis and so I'm good." It's why do I then need to go to a counselor? I could just have one session with you and I'm good.
Yeah, I I usually give homework at the end of each session. Um, and the homework is to face what we've just spoken about and maybe take a certain action that came out in your dream. And you need somebody to hold your hand with that. You really do, and give you tools, because a lot of times it is very emotional. I
Mm,
mean, imagine if I said that you were dreaming about how you felt that your like father didn't care for you when you were a kid. Like, what? That's a lot to put on somebody in a 45-minute session and just walk away.
mm.
Um, Imagine,
You're like, "Good luck with that now."
yeah, like talk to your therapist and help you walk through that. Somebody saying, okay, this is saying that you want to completely change your career. You've been mulling it over for a while, but if you've been thinking about that for 5 years and you haven't taken a leap, and now it is like in front of you that this is really what you need, you're still going to need some support around that.
Mm.
you're still going to need some support to help you, you know, acknowledge and move forward. So I always say pair with therapy.
Yeah, that's great. And do they ever do vice versa? Like they're like, "Oh, that dream was weird. Maybe you should speak to a dream interpreter and try to get some understanding and uncover what that is."
Oh yeah, I get a lot of referrals from therapists.
Nice.
Yeah. I have a lot of therapists who are like, I don't know what that means, but I know somebody who does. I know somebody who can help you get through that and then come back to me when she tells you. So I do partner with therapists, which is really good. I love partnering with my sister most of all. My sister is Dr. Cressada Glean Brilliant, and she is amazing at working with her clients and identifying when they need support. And so we have a really good back and forth. I've got a bunch of her clients that it's good to for me to feel relief that okay, I just put something really heavy on your chest, but I know you have somebody that can support. And because sometimes people are like, yeah, I've been thinking about going to therapy. I might after this, and it's like, no, 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 you need you need to right now for sure after what I just told you. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're like, yeah, no, you're not done.
Mhm.
There's so much more to uncover. That's great. So you just go see one sister for one thing, and go to the other sister for the other thing. It's
Mhm.
perfect. It's
Yeah.
perfect. Nice. I love it. And I love it that it's also a gift that's been passed down to you. Sometimes people don't honor that. They don't really think about, this intuitive thing that has been passed down from, like you said, your great grandmother. I do wonder, has anybody else in your family ever noticed they also have the gift? Or is it just like, oh no, go to Jamila?
No, my entire family comes to me. So I've been as far as I'm concerned, everybody has this gift and everybody can do it. And yet and still
That is not
everybody I
true.
know says no. You're the only one that can do this. Especially people in my family. They won't even attempt. I just get calls at all hours of, okay, tell me what this means, or call or a voice note, a text, a long text. But yeah, nobody else in my family, which is interesting. I wonder why me.
Because you're a witch.
No, no, I'm not taking it on. I'm
Only
not
one
taking it
witch in
on.
the family.
I don't. Somebody got to give me a definition of a witch. I don't know. I like watching witch. I would like watching movies with witches, TV shows with witches,
Mm-hmm.
reading books with witches. You know what? This is going down a weird path. Um, but I do not identify as a witch. Mhm.
You don't identify as a witch. I identify you as a witch. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, Caribbean culture, we have a lot of people who have certain gifts and know certain things. You always have somebody in the family that you go to because they have that wisdom or they know how to guide you or whatever it is.
I do call it powers. I do feel like people have powers.
Hmm.
Like for instance, a lot of people will tell me a dream and say, "Oh, I dreamt that so and so was going to get into a car accident. Am I predicting the future? Should I call them and tell them they're going to get in a car accident?" And my instinct is not to judge them. My instinct is to ask, "Have you ever predicted the future?"
Mm.
Because I am fully open that maybe you have a power that I know nothing about. And they say no. Okay, then let's really go through the dream and we'll see where we land. And those people, they have never been predicting the future. Um, actually, let me not say that. Some of them are predicting the future, but only because they recognize the symbols, right? So somebody was dreaming that a, a a boyfriend or an ex was going to get arrested,
Oh,
but then wake in her waking life realizing that this person had done a lot of illegal things. So
okay.
it is predictable that he may be arrested, right? So it wasn't so far fetched, right? If it did happen in the future. Um, but I recently met some people that have what I call powers. Like they can see symbols in a different way. They can. they pick up on vibes of people more than others. And so I think that some people are just more in tune with nature and with the air, the people around them than others are. And I
Mhm.
call that powers. I don't I but I do know there are real witches out there, and I don't know, it's not they're not all for good. So I say, if you're a witch, please use your powers for good. We need powers for good out there.
I need so many powers for good. Can you like, get a coven together and try to
I, I would have to be a witch to get a coven together. You're not following me here.
Right, sorry, totally forgot. Yeah, you're not a witch, you just enjoy witchy things.
Yeah.
It's fine, it's fine. It's okay if you're a little bit of a witch. It's all right, it's okay.
Next question.
We all know the truth. It's fine. But no, that makes sense. I'm curious too, because people can be skeptics, right? They can be like, I said something and she's giving me some generic, response to this. And so I don't know if I believe it. Have you dealt with skeptics and have you ever won any of them over? Have they ever been like, you know what, maybe she's onto something?
I dealt with a lot of skeptics. Most of them are men. But I dealt with a lot of skeptics, and they are the first ones to be like, "What? That was spot on. Wow. How did you know?" Um, and I don't really know what they're skeptical about, because most of them are, at the same time they're saying, "I don't trust that you can tell me what my dream means." They're also saying, "I don't even trust that dreams mean anything." So it's a weird paradigm. And then when they realize that their dreams not only mean something, it means something very deep to them, then they are quickly converted, and will wonderfully be my greatest cheerleaders and to spread the word for me. So that's always wonderful. That's
Nice.
really, really wonderful. All of my skeptics I have yet to find someone who says, "Nope, not at all," without them coming right back and saying, "Okay, I didn't want to say it, but yeah, you're right." They have all been like either an instant yes, or they come back in a couple minutes and say, "All right, I didn't really want to confess that that's what's going on, but yes, and I'm shooketh that you knew."
I'm not surprised that the skeptics are men. Men tend to think that they're very logical when
Mhm.
sometimes I don't know why they always feel like logic and emotion are at odds. Like okay, quick segue just from a marketing perspective. You only act based on emotion. You're angry, you're upset, you have a fear, the only time you really take action is because of an emotion. Now, you may logically decide which actions to take, but you act based on emotion. So I don't know why we always get into that where men are like, no, I'm logical, so I don't need therapy, counseling, I don't need dream analysis, I don't need any of this. I'm logical. And it's like,
Yeah,
yeah, that's not at odds with tapping into your emotions and your subconscious. It's not one or the other.
yeah. I'll tell you one more thing about a lot of men, and there's some women too. But a lot of people in this day and age are really living on the hustle culture and on the like, I will, I gotta work to get where I need to be, to their detriment. And it affects their sleep. And
Mhm.
some people say, "Oh, I don't dream." And I don't know how I know, but there's like people who don't dream because they come to decisions all the time. They make a decisions, they take those actions based on those decisions. And so you don't need to dream about it. You don't need to ruminate about it. And then there's people who don't dream because they don't sleep enough.
Mm.
And I can usually tell, there's people who live in the hustle culture, in the "I'll sleep when I'm dead." They're not dreaming, but it's because they're not getting deep sleep. They're not relaxing. And then they'll get some really crazy dream when they finally sleep. And then they don't want to talk about that at all because it sends them for a loop. So it is interesting like what's happening in culture these days of the people who are not allowing their bodies to rest. And that is a concern for me as well. Everybody needs to rest. Your body needs it for so many things.
Yeah, very true. That's something I think people really should. It's a great point that you're bringing up, that it's like, sleep when you're dead. You're going to get there a lot faster if you don't sleep. But it's good for your immune system. It's good for rest. It's good for just recharging. You make better decisions when you're well rested. But also, your subconscious might want to tell you something. So
Exactly.
maybe you should get some sleep and see how your brain is working things out while you rest. That's a really good point. I feel like we really do need to encourage that. It's hard now. There's so many triggers, so many things making us anxious, nervous. Hustle culture, like you said, is definitely a thing, but then there's also just so much anxiety in the world right now that it's like, how do I calm down enough to get that kind of rest and sleep when I'm always on 10? I'm always on edge because I'm reading, the news, or I'm hearing about a family member, or I've lost my job, or whatever it is. Like, how do
Yeah.
you how do you even calm down to get into a state to get into some good deep sleep?
Yeah. So I definitely do offer people some tools around sleep. I also, again, direct them to their therapist for tools around anxiety, especially. But yeah, anxiety could really drive your dreams. But what's good about the analysis is that you're finding out what exactly am I anxious about?
Mm,
Because in this moment, you could probably list like 5 things that it could be. But what is the most that's really affecting your brain? And maybe one of those things could allow you some what's clarity on one of those things could allow you rest for some of the others. Um, if you're in a financial strait, right? Restraint. What is that? Is that I need a different job? Is that I'm spending too much? Is that I'm not saving enough? Like, what is driving your anxiety around the finances? And it'll probably come up in your dream. And then once you tackle that, now you can get some ease. And you're probably going to get some action steps that you need to put in place so that you can fully get some relaxation. And now your account's looking up because you analyzed your dream. Like, hello, this is what we're talking about. Like, you really need to work for yourself. Look into what you need and not just what's going on in the universe. Because we could all just say, well, I saw that latest news clip and that's what it is. Yes, and yes,
mm.
or it is this other thing that's happening in your household that you need to get a hold of first, and then you can deal with that news piece.
Yeah, there's more than enough, like you said, to keep us on edge and keep us anxious. You also, because you brought it up, so your sister also has some tools and resources and some things that can calm people down to get into that relaxation state.
Yes, thank you for thinking about that. My sister has a line of peace-inducing tools called Pocket of Peace, which consists of a roller, a spray that have um, essential oils. Sorry, I couldn't come up with the word. A mixture of essential oils that encourage relaxation. You can use the spray as a mist that encourages you to breathe. A lot of times we think we're breathing and we're breathing up here in our chest, and it's like shallow breathing. But we need deep breaths. We need to find the calm. And she also has some inspirational cards that you can look into because sometimes we have a lot of negative thought in our heads, or we're getting a lot of negative imagery on our phones and TV. And so you need some positivity back in. When
Mm.
you can't pull it out on your own, pull out a card and read that positivity and repeat it to yourself, and a calm will come over. She also has a tactile way to find peace. She has a pouch. I'm rubbing my hands just thinking about it. There's a pouch that is furry and soft, and when you are holding it, that also brings you calm. And so so Pocket of Peace, she gave me found at pocketofpeaceliving.com. You can purchase those things there as a bundle or individual pieces. And I tell you, I need that before meetings at work, after meetings at work, to bring it on down to before I go to sleep. Sometimes I use the mist on my pillow to encourage just deep breathing and calm right before going to sleep. Read some positivity before going to bed instead of watching, some horrible thing online. Lock those tools for Pocket of Peace are really, really good. Thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah, of course. Hey, peace is what we need. It's very necessary, but it's
Yes.
also, I love that we're talking about daydreaming and dream analysis, and I love the calm, reserved tone of Jamila who does daydreaming. But I can't let you off the podcast without tapping into the other side of Jamila that does So
Mhm.
Could Say So, because I do think, as much as we are dealing with a lot right now, I do think there are some fun things that we can do to calm ourselves down, to enjoy life, and to kind of remember that trouble don't last always. Like we
Yes.
should focus on some fun and interesting things. So I'm curious from you what kinds of fun and interesting things you're doing and what you're listening to.
So, yeah, a lot of my fun revolves around music, and soca in particular is my go-to. Soca for me is connected to carnival, and which is a symbol of freedom, breaking away from shackles, breaking away from restriction, a full freeness. And so when I can listen to one song in between meetings, or on my drive to work, to just remind myself of that freedom and let go, I love it. Go jump up in a carnival, go jump up in a fete. If I mean, my couch is really nice, so I like to stay there as well. But every once
What
in a
couch?
while, you have to move your body. And it's interesting that I'm seeing a lot of posts of, shake your body out, shake your hands, jump up and down, and, move your hips. And this is literally how you fit. Like, this is like, spread your hands and let go. Like, that is like you have a culture of resetting your body through movement, finding freedom and relaxation through movement and sound, and having a nice something to look at while you're doing it, and a nice something to drink while you're doing it.
Mm.
It's all in the, it's all in there. It's all in the relaxation. What am I listening to? I will tell you right now, full blown, those brothers, they know how to do it. they've
Hmm.
they've been writing amazing tunes for years, but I am so happy that they are getting recognition for their own tunes right now, because I've been following them as artists for some time now too, but like it's really blowing up. Respectfully Yours is like,
Oh,
I
come
don't know
on.
why I love that so much. I
It's
just,
an instant classic.
yeah, you know what, I they make grown folk music. They make grown folk. I don't know that they know, but I'm sure they know. They make grown folk music. And so they allow a woman like me of a certain age to still be able to, wind down low, because it's my pace. Um,
Yeah, grandma. Sure, sure, sure.
but also my pace is all the jab music that came out of Grenada this year. So I don't know.
There you go.
Who am I? Lil Carrie, Muddy, Dash. Like he must know. He must know I'm his number one fan. Dash must know by now.
If
He must.
he's ever listened to a Tune Tuesday or listened to the podcast, like you put me on to Dash, you definitely have been a fan
Yeah,
forever.
yeah. And me and all the other ladies are a fan of Terry the Governor.
Who's not?
Um,
Mango Jenna.
if you are not aware of Terra the Governor, Spades, love, just go listen to everything he has. So all the stuff that came out of Grenada this year, this past 2025 Carnival is still on repeat in my head when it's not even in the headphones. Like it's just always on repeat. Um, who else? So much, so much. But Trinidad is slowly bubbling up on me. Trinidad is slowly bubbling up on me. For sure. It took a minute. Still a little bit to go before Carnival. So I'm sure there's some surprises people still have up their sleeves.
Hmm.
But I am now in a groove with Trinidad soca.
Yeah. Sometimes music anywhere, it takes a second to build. I will say, full blown. The minute I heard it, I thought I already loved this song. Like, I
Yeah,
don't even know this song. It's the first time, and I already love this song. So, yeah, you're right. They make grown folks music. Music that'll last. I truly believe it'll be music that'll last. So,
yeah.
yeah,
And it
that's,
is a sample off of Crazy. I
yeah,
get what? So, you did hear it, but it's still different. It's different enough. This year for car. I know I'm going off a Trinidad tangent, but this
do it.
year there's a lot of songs that are remakes,
Hmm.
and they're just like straight remakes. Like it sounds like the other song, and some people are upset about that. I'm okay with it. Um,
As long as it's good.
this one is just different enough. It gives you a whole new twinge on that song, so it makes it fresh.
Yeah, I love that. And yeah, I definitely, soca is my therapy for a lot of things. You're taking a walk, you're at the gym, because we are not, we're out here in the States, we are not in the carnival. So it's not
Mhm.
just, oh, this is tuned for the road. It's like, no, literally the road I'm driving. Like, this is what's playing in the car. So yeah, I am really excited to see what else comes out. I'm glad that Trinidad Carnival is happening. We have a lot happening in the region. So, like you said, Carnival is rebellion and it's an opportunity to free up and enjoy, but also people please be responsible and safe.
I would really, really like to do a dream analysis for a soca artist. I don't
Put
know,
it
put
out
that
there.
in the
Who?
universe. Yeah. Put
Who?
that in the universe. I would really, I want to give you a couple people. Masho for sure. I feel like I'm like, I don't dream. I don't dream too much. I don't know why you would think I don't dream too much.
I
Destra.
feel like Marshall dreams in vivid color with bass.
Like you just hear like Masha. Um, just because he has so much that I feel like he's thinking ahead and making moves and seeing people globally and all this, that I feel like he may have some like serious dreams that will like, I don't know, maybe, take him to different heights, even though he's already at the height of the soca industry. Dester Garcia,
Mhm.
she's been going through a lot of transformation lately. I think we can uncover some more
Mm.
that she's working on. Young brother, I know he's dreaming. I know he's dreaming. That's for sure. Who again? Hmm. I think those three would be really good. Like I think they have a lot going on. You know what? Maybe Lady Lava. Hmm.
Yeah.
I wonder if she would say she dreams a lot. Hmm.
I feel like her dreams would just become lyrics. Like she dreams in like audiogram. Like it's just lyrics.
She might be one that said, "Yeah, I don't dream that much. I used to. I used to dream a lot, but I don't dream that much." I would love to see if anybody, if they respond and say, "Yeah, she was right." um, would like to know, but I would love to support them in their next transition through their dreams.
Nice. Yeah. That would be great. That would be a great session to watch. That would be interesting. I think those names in particular, you'd get such a wide variety of the types of dreams and
Yeah.
decisions that they're trying to, work out in their subconscious. But
Yeah.
Those 4 would be amazing. I would watch that show.
Hmm. I want to throw in uh, 2 politicians.
Oh,
I want to uh, Mia Motley.
oh my
Um,
gosh.
I feel like I would have to like get a thesaurus to to go through her dreams. Like I
Mhm.
would have to get a dictionary and a thesaurus and like a translator just of like someone who's just way smarter than me to like what did she just say? But I
Yeah, and
think
civics lessons and,
yeah,
government policies and
yeah.
international affairs.
I think that would be a good challenge for me if I would be able to decipher what she's going through when she's going through some very complex things
Mm,
that I couldn't in my waking moment on my own understand. Right. And uh Dick and Mitchell, Grenada Prime
mm.
Minister. I think he is grappling with a lot of things, and I would love to hear what his dreams are about. And I think he is probably on probably dealing with a lot of do I play small? Do I really live as big as I am?
Mm,
And he's doing a lot, and he's handling a lot, and he's been like I feel like day one he stepped into office. It's been like one big thing after the other he has had to deal with.
mhm.
But I think he walked in with lots of ideas, and those may have been pushed aside. And he's done a lot, but I think some of them have been pushed aside, and he's probably still dreaming about like how do I get that thing that I said I really wanted to do through.
That's a good you know what, with politicians, I think that's good. I know there's definitely, like, advisory councils. I can imagine, like, Ibrahim Traore in Burkina Faso has a dream interpreter, like, on standby. Like, I would
Yeah,
imagine as part of the advisory council. So, yeah, maybe we have a new industry for you to break into,
yeah,
political dream interpretation.
yeah. I'm here for it. Help
Hmm,
everybody. I want to help everybody.
nice.
Because and
Hopefully
especially helping a politician is going to help so many people. Oh, I need to do this. Oh my goodness.
the world needs you.
But really.
I'm I'm serious.
Mhm.
International global affairs witch.
No, leave the W word out of it. They're not going to hire me.
You don't know that.
Somebody is saying, well, now I definitely want her.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah,
that would be
I want to help. I want to help people, honestly. I want to help people level up their lives because your dreams are definitely telling you how to level up your life, especially the moves that you're just afraid to make, to go from a lower level employee to the boss is what's really ruminating around in your head, and I want to bring it out in the open, and let's talk about how we get there.
I love that. Yeah, nice. And so for the people who are listening or watching, how can they get in touch with you? How can they follow you? How can they set up a session with you? Global leaders need to know this. So drop the drop the handles, drop the site. How can they reach out to you?
So you can reach me at JayDreamingg on social media, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. And it is JayDreamingg with an extra G for a good night's sleep. And you can also email me, jaydreaming@gmail.com.
Nice. And we will put all of your information in the description. And so I'm so glad you came on as Jay Dreaming. I think this absolutely fits with our Ushering in a Healthy New Year series. I think this is something people need to maybe explore and look into because so many times we have our head down, we're focused on something, and it's your subconscious is nagging at you to pay attention to something else. So
Yes.
having someone who can help and, just help you uncover that, unravel that, unlock that potential would be really great. So we're going to give them all of the ways to reach you in the description. Obviously, you're also co-founder of BK Rant and Rave, so they could also just reach out to BK Rant and Rave, and we'll get them to you.
Find me.
No, not literally. Be careful what you say on the internet.
Oh no.
They're like, what? I'm at your door. You said find you.
No, not that.
Don't
That's
do
a
it.
good catch.
Yeah, don't do it. But thank you so much, JayDreamingg, for being on the podcast. I think this is a great way to just kind of help people understand that, now's the time. Now's the time to listen to that little voice. Now's the time to listen to those dreams and to make those changes and really level up your life. So thank you so much for being here.
But before you kick me out, I gotta
Uh-oh.
give you
Why do
your
I feel
roses.
like the roles are about to reverse? This is my show.
I gotta give you your roses and say thank you for looking out for our health in this moment. There is so much trying to drag us collectively down and so much draining our emotions, draining our brain space, sending us in a topsy-turvy way. And it is wonderful that your contribution in this moment is to uplift others. And so I thank you for giving us very many different ways to think about how we can help ourselves. And so, not just one way, not just one voice. You've highlighted so many voices in this series. Voices that some that I knew, some that I didn't know. And I'm sure that's the same for your listeners, your watchers. So thank you for introducing us to new people, introducing us to new ideas, giving us reason to question what's going on in our lives, and giving us some actual tools to better ourselves in the moment, especially when there's so much trying to tell us that it's not worth it, just forget about it, just like go back under the covers. No, you've given us a good reason to take care of ourselves and move forward. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And we should all have this on repeat and share with other people so that they can be hopeful and that they can enrich themselves instead of the alternative.
Thank you so much. Aw, no, I'm not crying. I'm not crying. You're crying. No, it was definitely important for me. Hey, sometimes the physician has to heal themselves, right? It's been a lot, been inundated with so many things. And every day it's like, oh, what fresh hell is this? And so sometimes you just have to figure out, okay, how do I get through this? How do I get past this? Because this is not going to be forever. And what I'm really loving that I'm seeing is people unifying, people reaching out, people trying to get help, people standing up for each other. And I think it's bringing us closer, and it's really powerful to see. And so yes, if there's a way to ground yourself and also, make sure you are your best self so that you can help other people, I love to see that.
Thank you.
But now we're going. Shoot. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for listening, watching. Make sure you check out the full episodes and share. You can feel free to go back into the BK Rent a Rave archives. I just checked the other day, over 86 episodes.
Whoa!
Did we really do that many episodes? But
Wow.
yeah, just start from the beginning and let it ride. Listen to everything, and you can hear our takes on so many different topics. But this year, definitely, thank you guys for tuning into the Ushering in a Healthy New Year series. Bye. All right, I'll count it down and we'll just have a chat.
Let's go.
Okay.
I said, oh, this guy, he's silly. Oh no.
Yeah, it just gets worse and worse, doesn't it?
With a hole in it. Did you call me a penny with a? I was saying that's a song.
Okay, I was just making sure you wouldn't call me a penny with a hole in it.
And yes to soca. What is it called? Soca?
Yes, soca music. We're gonna bring
That's
you in.
another form of therapy. You still need a therapist, but soca helps too.